There are a lot of gloves currently in Space Station 14, and pretty much all of them can be acquired in normal gameplay, meaning you will probably run into most of these fibers in a normal round. The reason why I'm making this video is mainly for detectives, because there's an item in the game called the Forensic Scanner that lets you scan any object that was touched by someone for either fingerprints or fibers, and all gloves in the game, except the forensic gloves, will leave some form of fiber behind. This is also very useful if you're trying to cover up your tracks or be stealthy, because certain gloves are a lot more rare, and due to their rarity, those types of fibers will get you outed almost instantly if you are wearing those gloves, and because you might be the only person on the entire station who even has those gloves. I'm not going to get into the rarities of things, I'm just going to make this very quick. Forensic gloves do not leave any form of fiber. Next, we have blue leather fibers, which is actually blue boxing gloves, rigged boxing gloves, which are the ones that do a lot of damage and stamina damage, and also gloves of the North Star. So two of the Syndicate agents' most deadly melee weapons will all have the same type of fiber, the blue leather fiber. We then have the red, green, and yellow leather fibers, which are just normal boxing gloves. Next, the Captain's gloves are the only gloves in the game that are Regal Blue Durathread, so only really one pair of these can be touching anything. Then we have the Hops gloves, the paper cut proof gloves, which is black Durathread. Then we have latex gloves, which is just latex, and nitrile, which is just nitrile. Then we have botanist leather gloves, which is brown leather. Then we have two oddity ones. Power gloves can be found usually just outside on stations. There's usually one per station. And then we also have the Space Ninja gloves. Both of these are insulative nanomachines. So just because you saw those fibers doesn't mean there's a ninja. Somebody might have power gloves, or it might mean there is a ninja, you never know. Then you have Robo Hand gloves, also same case, just kind of randomly found out on certain maps. They're just black leather though. Then we have combat gloves, which is the common glove of the Syndicate agents. This is black insulative. Head of Security also has this, so not only to Syndicates, so getting these stolen can really mess up some forensic work. After combat gloves is again another really confusing category. So tactical made gloves, fingerless gloves, gloves that belong specifically to thieves that are non-chameleon, and normal black gloves all provide black synthetic. Of course, the fingerless ones leave fingerprints. This category is obviously really confusing because thieves have these gloves, security has these gloves, you can find these gloves randomly. The most common glove type in the game is black. People really like them because it looks good. Black sprites look good on most clothing options or with most colors. So this category will be the one, probably the most common fiber other than the insulated ones. Mercenary combat gloves and fingerless mercenary gloves will all leave olive insulative. Of course, the fingerless ones, again, leave fingerprints. Then we have insulated gloves, fingerless insulated gloves, and conducting gloves. These all leave yellow insulated, but the fingerless ones will leave your fingerprints, as all fingerless gloves do. Then budget insulated gloves actually leave yellow frayed insulated fibers. So if you're looking for somebody that's wearing yellow gloves, make sure you figure out which of these two they have, especially since there's also rubber gloves, which can very much look just like insulated gloves. However, these just leave rubber yellow fibers, so these three gloves all look pretty much identical, but they have different fibers, so make sure you're paying attention to which one is actually on a suspect before you pin them on a crime they probably didn't do, or may have done, who knows. This is probably the last special one worth mentioning is chameleon gloves. Chameleon gloves can look like anything. I just have the black gloves because that's what they come in as default. These leave holographic chameleon fibers. So somebody has purple gloves and they touch something and it doesn't leave purple fibers, for example, that is a chameleon glove. There's nothing else that leaves that. So if you ever saw that and you're confused, that is why. This will throw people off. This can fake looking like any glove, but it will always leave its real holographic fibers behind. So this, be very cautious if you're using a chameleon kit, can get you caught. And finally, all these gloves are not special. They're all just actually easy to understand. They're their respective color, synthetic. So purple gloves are purple synthetic. Brown gloves are brown synthetic. The only thing that's worth mentioning is the light brown gloves still leave brown fibers. That's really it. I kind of didn't realize there was this many gloves, so when I was making this, I literally had to start deleting walls in the dev environment to keep it in a straight line. I probably have some addiction issues with information.